They were too powerful, too dangerous. The world wasn't ready for them. Banned, outlawed, erased from history. But today, we bring them back. These engines didn't just break records. They shattered the rules. So the authorities killed them. But legends never die. The fastest engines in history were silenced. Not because they failed, but because they were too good. 5 engines, 4 controversies, 3 scandals, 2 secret prototypes, and 1 truth. They were all banned for a reason. They tried to bury them. They tried to forget them. But banned engines, they don't stay dead. This is their story. The truth was hidden, the evidence destroyed. But one leaked document reveals why these engines were really banned. When power has no limits, when speed defies control, the only answer is to ban it. This is the rise and fall of the most insane engines ever made. Banned, censored, erased, but we found them. Let's delve in. Coming in at number 6, Chevy's Forbidden Beast, the 369 Porcupine engine. In the shadows of 1960s NASCAR, a monster was born. With wild canted valve heads and a roar that terrified Ford and Chrysler, it was a street-legal missile until it wasn't. The story begins with GM's 1963 racing ban, but behind closed doors, Chevrolet engineers kept working, quietly evolving the banned 427 mystery motor into the production-ready 396. The L78 version arrived in 1965, 425 horsepower, 11-to-1 compression, solid lifters, holly carb built for war. Yet Chevy claimed just 375 horsepower. Why? Insurance games, GM restrictions, and one goal: keep it street legal and under NASCAR's radar. Its porcupine-like valve train earned it the nickname, but what really stuck was its reputation. The Z16 Chevelle got just 201 units. The Corvette got a rare L78 variant. Racers quickly learned it could outpull its rating, and NASCAR knew it too. But rules were rules. NASCAR's strict homologation laws and GM's factory racing ban clipped the 396's wings before it truly took flight. It never became a full-blown track legend, overshadowed by the 427 and 454. Still, the 396 left its mark. It seeded Chevy's entire big block family, from the L88 to the monstrous 454, and became a collector's dream. Hidden in garages and roaring down drag strips, the Porcupine never truly died. It was banned, yes, but not broken. Number 5 on the list, the secret Pontiac that almost killed the Hemi, the 421 Super Duty. In 1963, Pontiac built an engine so dangerous, GM tried to bury it. The 421 Super Duty wasn't just powerful, it was an act of rebellion. Bored out from the 389, fitted with forged pistons, dual carbs, and race-ready internals, it pushed over 400 horsepower and tore through NASCAR and drag strips alike. In the hands of Fireball Roberts and Joe Weatherly, it was unstoppable until GM shut it down. Officially, GM's racing ban cited safety concerns. Unofficially, Chevy execs didn't like Pontiac stealing the spotlight. By January 1963, the order came down. No more racing, no more Super Duty. GM raided warehouses, shredded blueprints, and threatened anyone who resisted. But Pontiac engineers didn't go quietly. They hid parts, tested engines at midnight, and even disguised race components as tractor parts. Smokey Yunick reportedly smuggled Super Duty internals into Chevelle. One crankshaft damper was literally labeled for farm use only. Less than 200 Super Duty cars were built. Aluminum body parts, drilled frames, and 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds made the 1963 Catalina a track weapon, but it was gone in a flash. Still, the Super Duty didn't die, it evolved. Its DNA secretly lived on in the 1964 Pontiac GTO. That street-friendly 389, it had Super Duty cam profiles and heads. The first muscle car was built from the bones of a banned race monster. Fewer than 179 survived. One surfaced in 2019 in a collapsed barn, engine stamped, property of GM, destroy. What else is still out there? At number 4, the Chevrolet 292 Inline 6, Detroit's hidden giant, the Chevrolet 292. Inline 6 was more than just an engine. It was a threat to the entire automotive hierarchy Detroit had so carefully crafted. Introduced in 1963, this engine's power and reliability posed a serious challenge to GM's V8 dominance. Despite its potential, the 292 was suppressed, relegated mainly to trucks and commercial vehicles. Why? The answer lies in corporate politics. General Motors feared this engine would cannibalize sales of their high-profit V8s. Engineers, however, revealed the truth. The 292 was overbuilt, with a forged steel crankshaft and 7 main bearings, indicating potential far beyond its official 165 horsepower rating. In reality, the engine produced 15 to 20% more torque than advertised, but GM deliberately muted its capabilities through restrictive components like conservative camshafts and intake manifolds. Racing enthusiasts, however, discovered its true performance. In 1972, racer Jack Reynolds campaigned a 292-powered Chevy Nova, winning 3 consecutive events. Yet GM quickly altered the rules to remove its advantage, fearing it would undermine their V8 supremacy. Over the years, a secretive subculture of collectors and enthusiasts has quietly preserved the 292's legacy, even modifying it into a modern performance powerhouse, a testament to how corporate interests often bury true engineering brilliance. Its legacy may have been hidden, but the truth is finally emerging. Rolling in at number 3, the 1967 Chevrolet 302 V8, the Forbidden Engine. In 1967, while protests raged and youth took to the streets, Detroit's engineers were quietly crafting something legendary, a compact, high-revving monster designed to change motorsport forever. This wasn't just another engine, it was pure mechanical rebellion. The 302 barely slipped under the Trans Am regulations, created by a small, covert team who engineered a masterpiece. It featured a 4-inch bore from the 327 and a 3-inch stroke from the 283, creating a perfect 302 cubic inches of high RPM fury. At a modest factory rating of 290 horsepower, it could easily unleash 350 to 375 horsepower while revving to 7,000 RPM, far beyond its competitors. But the 302 wasn't meant to exist. It violated GM's internal displacement rules, threatening Chevrolet's big block lineup and undermining corporate strategies. Executives moved quickly to bury it, limiting production and halting its official marketing. Yet the 302 went on to dominate the Trans Am series, cementing its legacy. Drivers like Mark Donohue piloted the Z28 to victory, destroying competitors and proving the engine's unbeatable high-revving prowess. Today, the 302 V8 represents forbidden fruit in muscle car culture, with original engines fetching astronomical prices at auction. Its influence is still seen in modern engines, proving that when performance triumphs over corporate boundaries, legendary engineering is born. At number 2, Chevrolet's Band 427. The Chevrolet Mystery Motor, developed in 1962, was a powerful and secretive engine designed to dominate NASCAR. Officially known as the Mark II 427, it was engineered to outpace Ford's 427 and Chrysler's Hemi, featuring innovative porcupine cylinder heads with angled valves for optimal airflow. The Band, which aimed to curb factory racing involvement, ended the engine's potential in competitive motorsports. Only a handful of mystery motors were built, with the engine becoming a rare collector's item, leaving fans to wonder what it could have achieved. After being rediscovered in 2010, the engine was dyno tested, revealing it could still produce impressive power, proving its lasting legacy. Although it never realized its full potential in NASCAR, the Mystery Motor's innovative design laid the groundwork for future Chevrolet big blocks like the 396 and 454, cementing its place in automotive history. Its story is one of missed opportunity, innovation, and what could have been, an engine that never had the chance to fully prove itself. And finally, at number 1, the Boss 429, Ford's misunderstood giant. In 1964, Chrysler's 426 Hemi dominated NASCAR, forcing Ford to develop something better. By 1969, Ford responded with the 427C, but NASCAR banned these exotic engines, leading Ford to reconsider their approach. The goal was clear: create an engine that could dominate NASCAR, resulting in the Boss 429. However, to comply with NASCAR regulations, Ford had to install 500 Boss 429 engines into cars. Despite its NASCAR success, it faced challenges on the street and the drag strip. Ford tried to tame the beast with a 735 CFM carburetor and hydraulic cam, but it was sluggish in performance, even slower than the Cobra Jet. The large Hemi-style cylinder heads, designed for superspeedways, hindered torque and responsiveness on street and drag applications. Drag racing legends like Sam Oxier Jr. noted the Boss 429's flaws, from heavy rotating assemblies to large ports that made it difficult to modify. Even after years of development, racers found little success until Ohio George Montgomery used twin-turbo setups in the 70s, winning races like the Gator Nationals. In the 80s, the engine found a resurgence in pro stock, with legends like Bob Glidden taking it to the championship. The Boss 429 may have been misunderstood in its time, but it's now a Ford legend. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know if you'd like to see a full documentary video on any of these legendary engines. Thanks for riding with us. Until next time, keep the revs high and the passion alive.